talk very fast, so it'll help if you guys listen quick. I'm from the Jersey Shore, and we're following the Jersey theme tonight. And I'm starting to think lately, between Hurricane Irene, Hurricane Sandy, the Seaside Bulwark on fire, and Snooki, that God fucking hates the Jersey Shore lately. Brutal. Let me get one thing straight. Everybody thinks I'm Italian. I'm not Italian. All my friends are Italian. Joey O, Joey Z, Joey B, Joey D. I am part of the 3% population that gets blamed for 88% of the world problems. I'm part of the tribe. I'm Jewish. Yeah. Super Jew. Growing up, I didn't know a lot of Jewish people. The only ones I really knew were my family, and they were kind of annoying. I knew there were a lot of Jews in North Jersey and New York City. I thought as a kid, the Garden State Parkway exits represented how many Jews were in each town. Tom's River, exit 82. LBI, 63. Cape May, 1. And then I got older, I'm like, there's no Jews in Cape May. It's terrible. I'm actually a triple minority. Growing up, not only am I Jewish, I come from a broken home, and I was a Jewish kid that played a lot of basketball. You don't see any Jewish guys in the NBA. You don't even see Jewish guys playing college basketball. Temple University, there's no Jews playing at Temple University. I started to think, all my friends are Italian. I'm like, maybe it's better to be Italian. My buddy Paulie's here. I'm like, Paulie, we're the same age. How come I don't have any gray hair and you got a full head of beautiful black hair? Because I'm Italian. And I start thinking about the food. I mean, what would you rather eat? A matzo ball or a meatball? No comparison. Brisket or brajol? Bacala? Love bacala. Or gefilte fish. You guys might not get this part. Gefilte fish. When's the last time I heard somebody say I'm going fishing for gefilte? You don't hear that. Anybody's family a little crazy, a little dysfunctional? Come on, everybody raise your hands from Jersey. If your hand is not raised, you're a moron studying to be an idiot. And my family is no exception. My grandfather, God rest his soul, 83 years old, the oldest man in the country to bungee jump. I'm like, that's amazing. The guy broke his record at 85. He was pissed off. He goes, I'm going to find that guy, knock him off, wait 2 years and break the record. It's crazy. He was a professional fighter. I was amazed. I'm like, Pop, what was your record? 29-1. Like 29-1, who'd you lose to? Joe Louis? Sugar Ray Robinson? Your grandmother. She got her ass kicked by Aunt Frida. Oh, my mother? She's no better. Typical Jewish mother. You know about the Jewish mothers, you can never do wrong. If I robbed the bank and I had blue ink all over my hands, my boy didn't do it. He's a good boy. I once was in a basketball game in high school, having the game of my life. I got like 20 points. For the purpose of the story, let's say they were saying anti-Semitic remarks about me. And all of a sudden, they're fouling the crap out of me. And I couldn't take it. I pushed the kid. He pushed me back. A melee breaks out. Next thing you know, there's a bench-clearing brawl. My mom is on the court yelling at this kid. You stay away from my boy, you animal. You know how hard it is to fight and keep your mom to get back in the stands? Very difficult. Now, her mother, God rest her soul, nicest woman in the world. She'd be the type, if she saw a bum walking, you could say bum, right? You can't really make fun of anybody anymore nowadays, so I get in trouble. If she saw a bum walking down the street, she would stop and give him money. If she was alive today, and she knew how to use the internet and email, she'd be the one giving her money to that guy from Nigeria. If she's not in heaven, I might as well start practicing the following. Nice to meet you, Mr. Lucifer. We're all in trouble. Anybody like to gamble? Anybody? I love to gamble. Just got back from Vegas. You know what I realized after coming back from Vegas? I don't have a problem with gambling. Nobody has a problem with gambling. You have a problem with losing. Okay, that's the problem. They shouldn't call it Gamblers Anonymous. They should call it Losers Anonymous. Imagine with my luck. I figure I'm like playing the ponies too much. I'm like, I better get some help. I go to Gamblers Anonymous. And I'm there and I'm waiting to spill my beans. And the guy before me gets up and he says, hello, my name is Victor. And I like to say that I have a problem with gambling. But over the last year, I've won about $350,000. I never lose at the casino. And I just hit a 14 parlay with the Jets and Giants, and I never lose. If I was me, I'd get up and punch that guy right in the face. Then I wouldn't have a problem with gambling. I'd have a problem with anger management. I'd be going to Gamblers Anonymous on Thursdays and anger management classes on Saturday. Brutal. Brutal. Any single people out there? You got to be single with that guy. I know you are. I was a terrible dater. Let's admit, dating sucks, right? Dating's just terrible. terrible, right? I once had a girl break up with me. She's called me up and she said, I don't want to see you anymore. I'm like, what? I thought things were going well. She said, I'm tired of being in a love-hate relationship. So what are you talking about? She says, you love yourself and I hate you for it. Click. True story. But the thing I did miss out on dating, I wish there was Kristen Mingles? You guys call you Gentile people? Was it Kristen Mingles? I wish that was around when I was single. Because I put a yarmulke on my profile, maybe get a little tan, do some curls, and I had one byline. For a good time and to get back at your parents, email me. But luckily, I met my wife. I married so far ahead, my neck hurts. I married a Jewish, Ivy League, hot, by the way, she's here tonight, smoking hot, doctor. I can only be one of those three. That's Jewish, by the way. And she's a gynecologist. She's an OBGYN, for those people who can't spell. And as a comedian, you can't ask for a better job than that for your wife, right? I mean, all right, let's go for the obvious one. She gets more pussy than me. She's in practice with my father-in-law. This guy's been taking a beating all night. He's been a gynecologist for 31 years. By my account, he sees 50 patients a day. Let's call them vaginas. All right? 5 days a week. 50 weeks a year. He has seen 375,000 vagina in his day. He is the Babe Ruth of vagina right here in the audience. Now you know why my mother was always happy. He's got one great line. He tells all the older patients they have young-looking vaginas. And they keep coming back. He's a genius. It is true, sadly. But my wife, she's always trying to improve me. I'm like, I'm not going to change. She's like, I think you need to get tested for dyslexia, ADD, OCD, and ADD. And I'm like, maybe she's right. I'm like thinking, maybe I should get tested. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. Because what if I get tested and they find out there's nothing wrong with me? I'd rather her think that I'm overcoming my handicaps than I'm a dumbass. A couple months ago, my Sports Illustrated came with Kate Upton. You guys know Kate Upton on the cover of SI? Right? I wake up, nobody in the house. Got my SI. Did what every heterosexual horny married guy would do. I called SI, renew my subscription. No. I rubbed one out. I go out, I come home, my wife's standing there with a swab, something sticky on it. She's like, what's this? I'm like, I don't know. She says, I know what you did. How do you know it was me? She goes, I ran a DNA sample in my office. I know it was you. I'm like, don't worry, honey. I was thinking about you the whole time. Now I got to masturbate in the shed. Brutal. I did have an epiphany recently. I bought that cough medicine, what do you call it, Mucinex? And I take it because I'm hacking up a lung. 2 days go by, I'm still hacking up a lung. I go, honey, you're a doctor. I don't have a vagina, but what's wrong with me? I don't feel any better. She looks at the bottle and she says, are you taking the 2 to 4-year-old dosage or the 4 to 6-year-old dosage? I'm like, and then she starts ripping into me. How could you be so dumb? We stopped going out of our way. I'm like, I realize now, she's not mad at me. She's mad at herself for marrying me. But yes, I have procreated, not once but twice. 2 girls, 3 women in the house and me. I am in big trouble. Right? And you know, my kids, they're great, but they're at that age now, like they're little narcs. If I had to like change their names, if I had it over again, I call them Tattle and Tail. Mommy, Daddy's on the computer. Mommy, Daddy's watching sports. Mommy, Daddy's watching sports on the computer. And it's brutal. And now I'm starting to give it back to them. Like, go ahead and tell Mommy. I dare you. Go ahead, tell him. And then a couple weeks went by, they started the same thing again. I'm like, go ahead, tell Daddy, tell on him. I'm like, oh shit, I'm Daddy. I'm like, and I realized she's not raising 2 kids, she's raising 3, and I'm the problem child. There's a bad influence, I might add. But you know, I don't know a lot about girls, having little girls, but I do have older friends that have kids that are a little bit older. And one of my friends I just talked to recently, I said, what are you doing this weekend? He goes, I'm taking my daughter's boyfriend to visit her in college. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, basically I'm driving this kid 8 hours to bang my daughter. I'm like, did he give him condoms? That will not happen on my watch. I don't like my kids playing with microphones by their mouth. Okay? I got a buddy here, just got married. James, raise your hand. James and Heather. Right? Not only do you marry a very attractive, smart, beautiful girl, that's all a bonus. Her family's fucking loaded. James, I know I'm like your mentor, but repeat after me. Yes, dear. Okay, dear. Whatever you want, dear. Until those rich relatives die and the inheritance is in the account, you do whatever she says. I'll leave you with one last thing. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I like to share some personalization here. I have this little bit of affliction called Crohn's disease. Anybody know what that is? It's basically like a human Pez dispenser. Whatever I eat can potentially come right out. Right? It's tough. My wife made me get checked out. She says, you got to go to the doctor. Okay, I go to the doctor. Doctor says, you got to go on medication. I'm like, Doc, I don't want any medication, but I'll take a handicap parking sticker. So I've learned three things I'll leave you with. And believe me, and listen, everybody's going to fumble once in their life, okay? Or potentially fumble. So you remember these 3 golden rules, it will help you. And you think of me, and you will thank me. Rule number 1, when you have to go really bad, always remain calm. Never panic. Rule number 2, constant breathing, like Lamaze. And rule number 3, never, ever, ever run. If you run, the groundhog will see its shadow. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for coming out. I gotta go. No, I gotta go. Thank you.